Silver Dollar Swede 12 here with my first ever reloading video. Here we have the corncob media being poured into the vibratory case cleaner. And to that I added 4 capfuls of the new finished car polish, which you'll see in the next shot here. And gave that a good half hour or so of stirring even before I added the brass. There is the brass in the cleaner being vibrated. That ran for about, I think, 3 hours, maybe a little less. From there we go to the tumbler. I have the yellow Lyman tumbler. There's a basket being opened up. Man, this guy is slow. Come on, haven't got all day. Okay, and into the basket goes the brass and the media. I'll give it a few turns forwards and back to get that all sifted out of there. Basket goes shut. Snap. Close the lid. Satanic message, satanic message, satanic message, satanic message, satanic message. Just kidding. And back the other way. And here we have the clean brass. Maybe not highly polished, but certainly clean enough. And into the shoebox it goes. I have the Lee single stage press with the breech lock quick change bushing. Here is the decapping and resizing die going in. I've already adjusted it. I have the locking nut on those tightened down with a wrench so that they won't move when I go to undo them from the press. And here we begin with the decapping process. Into the shell holder, first piece of brass goes. Out comes the primer. Here's another view. Call me crazy, but I love the sound made when that primer gets popped out of there. And down the tube it comes. Wait for it. There it goes. And I've got them all going out into a little tin can attached to the bench. And here's another view from the underside of the press. In the upper left-hand corner of this next picture, that pear can is a gift from the KGB65. You probably saw it in his Yellow Case short film. If you haven't had a chance to look for it, watch that video and you'll see that that prop there. Also, that's in that case was a 38 special casing from his video that he also sent to me. Nice to have a little artifact like that around. So after the decapping die comes out, in goes the die that forms the bell of the case mouth. And I have that adjusted in a little bit here. I don't actually show the adjustment of it, but that's what the die looks like. And once that's all set and locked down, we move on to the process of forming the bell. Here's another view. Now, when you see it going in and coming out, I mean, I could not see much of a difference, but I know it works because when you get ready to put the actual bullet in, it makes a big difference. But anyway, here I am priming the cases. I'm using the Lee XR prime. This is the large pistol primer it's going in. Take a look at the first one, make sure it's okay. We go from there. And it's time to put the powder in the hopper of the Lee Perfect Powder Measure. Just enough for what I was doing. I didn't need to fill the whole thing up. There was no sense in doing that. And once I get enough in there, put the cap back on the top of the hopper. And just as important, put the cap back on the bottle of powder. I don't want to spill that all over the place. That was hard enough to get as it was. Then we move on to actually dispensing the powder. I'm using 5.8 grains of the unique powder. Pardon my big hands. I know they're in the way. But my Dillon precision scale is preset up to 5.8. It's already been nice and zeroed. And here's the pan going on the scale in a moment here. And you'll see how quickly that scale zeroes out, or balances out. I like that scale a lot. It doesn't take long for it to settle. And now time for the parade of brass. No, I do not have a conveyor belt. But I do have a plastic funnel. And here we go. Here's the first powder being put into the first casing. And what comes after the powder? Why, it's the bullets. Get ready for this. They're pretty. Ooh, ah. Now this is a factory produced cartridge that I'm putting into the press to align or to calibrate the bullet seating die. And once I get that all set, then I can move on to production. And then after the first one goes in and is seated, here's the first one. I'll take the calipers and go ahead and verify the overall length. Not to exceed 1 point. Let's see. That's at 1.270. The max was 1.275. That fits in there very easily. Go ahead and we seat that. And from there we keep going. Now after the bullets have been seated, we move on to the final stage, the fourth die in the process, which is the factory crimp. And here is that, you can see the factory crimp die in the top of the press there. And before you know it, you have a whole bunch of bullets or cartridges waiting for the range. I ended up with 98 total because I had actually two failures when it came down to the priming step. And here's the final product being put into the box. Here it comes. And watch how fast I work. All of a sudden I have 98 of them. So when I went to the range and I fired the first shot, which you'll see in a second here, I was a little surprised. You'll kind of notice the surprise in my face, but I hit the center of the first target, almost dead center. From there, everything else was it was downhill from there. So, but I'll show you the target at the very end of the video. I appreciate you watching. And here comes the target.